So Phoebe Bridgers has come out today in full-throated support of Amber Heard. That's right. So in Teen Vogue today, that's a very serious news source. Well, it's about as serious as all the other mainstream news sources these days, right? In Teen Vogue, yeah, Phoebe Bridgers went on and on about how unfair everyone's been to Amber Heard, especially some of us supposed Johnny Depp fans, although I wasn't a Johnny Depp fan, and neither were a number of people until this bullshit with hoaxing Amber Heard occurred. But apparently, Phoebe Bridgers is either not cognitively able to process the information from the trial, or she just wasn't paying attention, or both. And then on top of that, of course, we know that Phoebe Bridgers likes to hop on any MeToo bandwagon that she can find. So she was already instrumental in taking down Ryan Adams, and that turned out to be a bunch of BS. I did a video on it, but just go look at the original New York Times takedown article on Ryan Adams, and what you're going to see is a bunch of innuendo and really nothing. And Phoebe Bridgers complaining that when she stopped seeing him, which was consensual, by the way, when she stopped seeing him, that he threatened to withhold her music, except he didn't withhold her music, right? And it's just, if you read the story, it's just a bunch of BS. So she and Mandy Moore, who's now moved on to her next singer-songwriter, investor or whatever. Anyway, Mandy Moore Mandy Moore and Phoebe Bridgers took Ryan Adams down. And then Phoebe Bridgers jumped on the anti-Marilyn Manson train, and she couldn't come up with anything for that. So what she did was she came up with this dumb story that she posted about how when she was over at his house as a teenager, right? Now, she wasn't some unattended teenager. So stupid. There's a whole backstory behind it. Marilyn Manson Uncanceled has already gone into it, so check out his website. But she went over to Manson's house, and he made an inappropriate joke. Right? And guess what? It was so inappropriate that Phoebe Bridgers went home and she posted cute pictures of Marilyn Manson's cat and basically indicating what a great time she'd had. But then, of course, later she would take those posts down because she doesn't want people to see that she was originally praising him on the night that she says she traumatized her with an inappropriate joke. All right? So this woman, she cannot be taken seriously. And Exhibit A in that is the fact that she's coming out and defending Amber Heard. So let's look at this stupid Teen Vogue article. You know, I didn't know what I was going to talk about today. I actually wanted to talk about something related to Depp versus Heard. I was kind of in the mood for that. But then thank God that, the internet just keeps supplying idiots like Phoebe Bridgers. All right, so I'm going to skip through most of this article, right? But I want to look at the part where she's talking about Amber Heard. She says, the writer says, Bridgers and I trade names back and forth of celebrities we've long heard murmurs about. Oh, well, because that's what you really want in a Me Too article, is the airing of murmurs. Do you know what murmurs means? It means unfounded gossip, basically. So she's like, yeah, we're trading gossip. God. Bridgers and I trade names back and forth of celebrities we've long heard murmurs about. Then turn to the biggest Me Too story of 2022. The Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. Not long after the trial ended, Bridgers liked a tweet that supported Heard, who made accusations of abuse against Depp in a high-profile, polarizing trial. Ultimately, a jury found that Heard was liable for 3 counts of defamation, and Depp liable for 1 of 3 counts in Heard's countersuit. Yeah, they're trying to make it look like it's equivalent there. Of course, those of us who actually watched the trial and understand the verdict know that it was very much against Heard. The thing with Depp was something that his lawyer said that he arguably should not have said, although I think it was fine. But anyway. Across the internet, people mocked Heard. Yes, I'm one of those. And her allegations, proud, by the way, to do that, and her allegations of abuse against Depp, and many celebrities liked Depp's post-trial comeback post on Instagram. Now, here's Bridgers, quote, I think that there's been this falsehood, and I think queer people are included in this. Oh yeah, let's play the queer card as soon as possible, right? Get that out of the gate, right? Because if you read this entire ridiculous article, one of the things that it's implying is that bisexual women, like Amber Heard, like Phoebe Bridgers, do they mention Evan Rachel Wood in this? I don't know if they get to it, but these women, they're especially targeted in our society because our society doesn't understand bisexuality. Anyway. So, she says, I think there's been this falsehood, and I think queer people are included in this, of having to be the perfect victim. Oh, God. It's not even like fresh perspective. She's just parroting what Amber Heard said. Is that all you can come up with? Well, I mean, clearly it is. There's not much going on in the head. I haven't listened to her music. Look, I'm just completely not sold on supposed great musicians of today because, and I guess I'm just getting old because everything that's popular, not everything, okay, but a lot of what's popular on the radio, I just think sucks now. That's no offense to anyone in particular, but it's just like, anyway, okay. Sorry. Shut up, Grandma. Okay. So she says of having to be the perfect victim or the perfect survivor or the perfect representation for your marginalized community. How many MeToo buzzwords can she get in here? Bridgers said, if Amber Heard exhibited any neurotic behavior, it was held against her. Well, there was a hell of a lot of, and it wasn't, look, there was a hell of a lot of neurotic behavior, but it wasn't neurotic behavior. It was called borderline, pathological, toxic behavior. So I just want to make sure we get our terms straight here. Because neurotic is what I am, sweetheart, okay? Borderline, toxic, pathological, that's what Amber Heard is, and it's probably what you are too. Okay. Blah, 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 marginalized communities, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then she says, then Johnny Depp, out of his mouth, admitted some of the most violent, crazy shit in court. In court is italicized. And it's somehow like people aren't surprised. Yeah, well, I want to know what kind of violent shit did Johnny Depp admit in court? I know that, like, there were times when he would, like, throw things at inanimate objects. But there was no indication at all of any violence toward anyone. So she, I mean, not that we would expect her to know what she's talking about, but God, is Amber Heard paying her? Maybe she's in Amber Heard's clique with Cara Delevingne and some of those others. Okay. Then she says, the giddy public consumption of the trial was troubling. That whole situation was so upsetting to me that it was treated like a fandom war. Laughing at someone crying in court, it was disgusting. Okay, so Phoebe, we weren't laughing at someone crying in court. We were laughing at someone who was pathetically trying to cry and was failing abysmally. And so, no, I was not laughing at someone actually crying. I actually would not generally laugh at that. Okay, I was laughing at someone who was putting on the most pathetic display that I've ever seen someone who's a professional actor put on. Couldn't even get one tear out. Anyway, I'm about to cry. I'm like, that says something about how bad of an actress Amber Heard is, that, like, I'm tearing up now. I'm not even really trying. And and Amber Heard, she couldn't work up one tear. I looked so hard. I was looking so hard at the TV. At one point, I literally did this. I literally got up because I was watching some of this on the TV. And like a little child growing up in the 80s or the 90s when we had terrible TV resolution and you had to just get like right up there where you're like doing eye damage to your retina or whatever to see what's going on. I got up close to the screen because I was like, surely there's like one tear that she's been able to squeeze out. I'm still wanting to cry. Just because I got really intense there. Now I'm wanting to cry. Okay. Laughing at someone crying in court, it was disgusting. This is something Bridgers seems stuck on. What does accountability or justice actually look like in a society that continuously diminishes survivor narratives? Oh, God. Quote, it can feel insular, like the rest of the world doesn't care about the same morals as us, Bridgers says. Yeah, because we're supposed to dictate, we in the entertainment industry in Hollywood, we are supposed to dictate to everyone what their moral beliefs should be. So she's like aghast that they can't mind control us, basically. Oh, God. Tell me, what can I learn? What great ethics can I learn from some overprivileged, overpampered, like, musical starlet whose music really sucks? And I think only got there mostly because of the way that she looks and because she's got this whole cachet as this, like, hip feminist bisexual, but I'm not that bisexual because I end up with men. Funny how that happens. I know, I'm saying too many offensive things. Okay. She notes that, like Depp, she notes that, like Depp, who lost a libel case in the UK, they have to let us know that, of course. Many powerful men accused of abuse continue their lucrative careers. Quote, I mean, is cancel culture real? Like, I shouldn't put in the like. Sorry, that's me. Who's lost their job politically? One huge offender is in jail for actual sex crimes. She's talking about Weinstein. And then anything short of that is maybe they lose a couple of friends or lose a couple of jobs. No, actually, Marilyn Manson has not lost a couple of friends or a couple of jobs. He was totally canceled. So, just all of his minimizing. They don't give a shit about the consequences. These people, some of these people, just spread all this bullshit around, take all of these guys down for the fun of it. And no accountability, and then turn around and act like we're all the crazy ones because we see what's wrong with this. And they call Johnny Depp, she calls Johnny Depp supporters or people who saw through Amber Heard, she calls them a fandom, yeah, a justice fandom, okay? Wait. All of the men that I've defended so far on my channel that I absolutely believe are innocent of the stuff they've been accused of, Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, yes, Andrew Cuomo, and then yes, David Sabatini. All right? I'm not fans of any of them. I started out either unaware or utterly indifferent or even disliking some of them, okay, originally. So, but I mean, why am I arguing with someone who's not very bright? I don't know. Okay. Bridgers is grateful for the solidarity she's found with friends and others in the industry, as well as other survivors, but she won't forget the cost. It sucks that I trauma bonded with a lot of my friends first, Bridgers said. We didn't get to come from a place of joy. We had to connect on something so dark. Yeah, it just sounds like sick. It sounds sick to me is what it sounds like. It sounds like a lot of people wallowing in perceived, probably misperceived injustice and oppression and all of that. And then building an entire identity and a sense of social bonding around that. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happened. And that's the sickness that so many in our society have around a lot of this stuff. All right, Phoebe Bridgers, we have heard enough from you. If you want to check out the rest of this vacuous article, go to Vogue. And of course, there's the obligatory fashion shoots. All these pictures of her looking so hip and everything. Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and of course she starts complaining about transphobia and the fashion. Oh, she says the music industry is so unfair, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right, enough of that. So anyway, y'all, if you enjoy my work, as always, like, subscribe. Tips are appreciated. Links are below in the description and comments. And thank you so much. And have a good night, everyone, except for Amber Heard, Phoebe Bridgers, Evan Rachel Wood. No.